Welcome to Yuthukama video channel, and we hope you enjoyed our previous lesson regarding the letter formation, where you learned how to write capital letters and simple letters properly. There we learned about some patterns which help you to form your letters. So with that, you might have done lots of homework and practiced, and hope your handwritings are okay now. And today our target is to introduce you some word classes, some words, especially nouns and verbs. And here, when I ask you to name a noun, we'll say you might come up with lots of nouns like tree, book, pen, and we'll say table, right? So these are all nouns. So you know what nouns are, and there are different types of nouns which we will learn later, but in my introduction I will just focus on these simple nouns and simple verbs. So likewise, if I ask you to name a verb, you may name so many verbs like go, run, play, eat, cut, read. And the main difference of these two types, two sets of words, can you identify the difference? Can you see the difference? Now look at this one: tree, book, pen, table. All these words are singular words. Now, and look at these things: go, run, play, eat, cut, read. All these words are plural, and you can see the difference now. You register, you remember all the verbs in their plural form, and the same way you register, you remember these nouns in their singular form. So there's a difference. That's where you make lots of mistakes when you put them into sentences, when you write sentences. Look at this, because now you know, if I put this, explain this in the mother tongue, in Sinhala. Now look at this one: go. You may remember it as yanawa. In the way you talk, in the way you speak, your speaking language. Run, duwanawa. That is again in the speaking language. Play, krida karanawa. Here you don't differentiate, you don't see the difference of whether it's a plural form or whether it is a singular, because you remember these things in your speaking language. That is where you make the mistake. You have to remember these things as go as yati, Run as duati. Play as krida karati. Eat khati. Khat khapati. Read kiyavati. And look at this one. Tree singular. Gasa. Book pota singular. Table mesaya singular. So you often make mistakes when you put them into sentences. Now we'll make some sentences, simple sentences with these few verbs and the nouns. Now with all these words, since they are plural, I mean bahuvachana, you need to use plural subjects. bahuvachana උක්තයක් එක්කලා විතරයි මේවා අපිට යොදන්න පුළුවන්. So there you need to use I. You know why I becomes plural? Because it's in the first person. අපි සිංහලෙනුත් කියනවා උත්තම පුරුෂ. ඒක නිසා අපි I බහුවචන කොට සලකනවා. And we, you, they, people, animals, so with all these plural subjects you can use these verbs, not with the singular subjects. He, she, we'll say nimal, we'll say it, and then in that case you have to make all these verbs plural. So how are you going to do that? Very simply, you can use he goes. This go become goes here with these subjects, and run become runs, and play once again plays, and of course eat eats, cut cuts, read reads. So what we have done here is to convert these plural verbs into singular verbs. All right. Now, suppose you want to make these singular nouns into plural. These singular nouns, I told you these are in singular form. So how are you going to do this? You do the same. You do the same thing. You trees, you add s here. You add s here, and then again s, then again tables. So what has happened to these nouns here? So these nouns now are in plural form. Plural. And here they have become, of course, these things are now singular. What I want to tell you, what I want to teach you is this. Normally, in English language, you remember all the nouns in their singular forms and verbs in their plural forms. So in order to make verbs singular, you add s, sometimes es or ies. We will discuss them in later. And what happens when you add the same s, es, ies sometimes to these nouns? They become plural. So with that understanding, this understanding will help you to form correct, simple, grammatically correct sentences. Right. Now, with next step, we'll discuss about how we use this knowledge to form simple sentences. So this is what we really learned up to now. So we were talking about nouns and verbs in the way they appear, nouns in the plural form, and I told you, as I told you, these nouns, of course verbs in their plural form, and nouns appear in their singular form. So when you add es or s to some words es and to some other words s, and sometimes you add ies to make them singular, of course the verbs become singular. And then if you do the same thing to nouns, I mean when you add s or sometimes es to nouns, they become plural. So what you must keep in your mind is, normally verbs appear in their plural form. As I told you, go, yati, eat, khati. Nouns in their singular form, tree, gasa, table, mesaya. So you need to keep this in mind when you write simple sentences. Okay, we'll try. And look at this one. They eat rice and curry. Now look at this sentence. They eat rice and curry. Look at this one. The subject, they or who. Because this subject is plural, you need to use a plural verb here, eat, that means khati. So here you use eat. They eat rice and curry. And once again, you can write this one also. People speak English. People speak English. So look at this one. People, minisu, the plural form, plural subject. And the speak again, you can see speak, plural verb. So with people, you need to use speak, not speaks. English. Look at this sentence. We read books. Look at this one. We, again plural, and read, plural verb. We read books. And you should remember the nature ස්වභාවය, nature of these sentences too. Why we use these sentences? We use these type of sentences to talk about things that we always do or the actions we do as a habit. As a habit. පුරුද්දක් විදියට කරන නැත්නම් අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කරන දේවල් තමයි මෙන්න මේ විදිහේ වාක්‍ය වලින් අපි කියන්නේ. ඒකත් අපි මතක තියාගත යුතුයි. Now we'll take some of these singular verbs, and with the singular verbs you need to use singular subjects. We'll say he. I take the same sentence for your better understanding. He, what happens when I write he here, and of course this verb becomes singular, it should be eats. Eats rice and curry. So therefore you can't say he eat rice and curry. Now you know the rule. Why? Because the subject is singular. Therefore you have to make this singular. The subject is plural here, so you need to change it. So you put S here. And look at these people. We'll say again he, right? He, what happens to this verb here? Speaks English. Speaks English. Look at this. And again we here. So we'll take this one again. He. What happens? Reads books. So what I want to emphasize here, what I want to tell you, you should remember these verbs in this form appear as in their plural form. So you need to use them with plural subjects. They appear in their plural form, so you need to use them in their with the plural subjects. And these verbs are in their singular form, so you need to use singular subjects in the same way. So now with that understanding, you need to do some exercises. I'll give you few sentences and you can write as much as sentences with this pattern. So okay, look at this. A new subject. Sri Lankans. My friend. We'll say she, my brother. We'll say our teachers. our teachers, they so you can select this one, eat or eats, speak, speaks, read or reads, eat, eats, speak, speaks, read or reads. Now look at this one. So now you can do this exercise and give you few minutes and we will just correct it within 2 minutes. All right, now look at this one, Sri Lankans. So eat or eats, so you need to remember now. So Sri Lankans, the subject is plural, so you need to select the plural verb here, exactly, eat. And then here my friend, the singular subject, you need to use this one, singular verb, speaks. And the third one, she, again singular subject, so you need to use this one, reads. My brother, again singular subject, so you are using eats here. Our teachers, plural subject, so you need to use speak. They, again plural subject, you need to use this verb read. And now you can read them. Sri Lankans eat rice and curry. My friend speaks English. She reads books. My brother eats rice and curry. Our teachers speak English. They read books. So these are some of the very simple sentences. You can make many other sentences with the knowledge, with the lesson we learned today. And hope you enjoyed this lesson too, and we'll meet once again with another lesson and to help continue your studies, English language studies during this difficult period. Thank you very much.